Hi guys, we're back with Pixlr and Pixlr.com, and I've chosen Playful X. So in the beginning we're going to do a few lessons with Playful X to start out with, and then we're going to move on to Advanced E. Both have characteristics of Photoshop, so you'll be able to interchange some of these techniques. But obviously this is something you can do from home. So we're going to open image, and you're going to go to wherever you have your images. So it can be in your picture or wherever you find it, but I downloaded mine, so here we are. I'm going to hit apply to open it up. And I noticed that I can zoom in and zoom out, but I noticed that it's directionally wrong. So I'm going to go over to properties, and I'm going to rotate right. And however that works for you, you can change it. And what we're going to do today is we're going to be duplicating our canvas, and we're going to erase through once we apply a black and white filter to show this color pop. So I'm going to do the color accent of the stop sign. So there's a few different ways to do that, but first we're going to go to the arrange and duplicate our layer. So you can see over here there's two layers. Think of them like panes of glass, so when we do something to the top and potentially erase through, it's going to show through to the bottom. So I'm going to apply an adjustment layer at the top here, black and white. And then you can hit apply. Oh, that didn't seem to do anything. Let me just double check. Black and white, there we go. And if you want, you can go through and change the exposure. The contrast is the difference between light and dark, so I like to bump up the contrast on a black and white. Usually it's a little bit too grayed out for my tastes, and you can go through and play around, with the highlights, the shadows, and anything you prefer. Then hit apply. So you can see here we have the black and white layer and then our traditional underneath. So after that we're going to go to the drawing, and there's a few different ways of doing this, but we're going to use the eraser tool, and I would say you're going to want to have a really hard edge, so 0, to be able to crisply, cleanly go through and get what you need. If it's something like, say, you're trying to get the colors back here, maybe you want a softer edge to really just carefully pluck those out. But if I accidentally get a color I don't want, you can go to undo. But you're definitely going to have to be careful and pay attention, because later on in Pixlr, I've not found an easy way to navigate back, so you'd have to redo this layer. Whereas in Photoshop, you can paint the black and white back over top again. So here we go. I'm going to take this down, and I'm going to do a larger at first, and then if I need to, I'll go through. I'm going to do smaller sections, because if I do a really big section and then I make a big mistake at the end, I have to undo that whole thing. So I would say, as a word of caution, smaller strokes and having, a little sections at a time is going to be your friend. So the eraser tool, and if you need to zoom way in and make it smaller, you can get right along edges. It doesn't have to be perfect, but do the best you can. And so I'm just going to really quickly finish this up. See how I'm noticing there's a little bit of that blue? Maybe perhaps if I saw that, I would go back and make sure that I left that so that it wasn't, it would just be the black and white. So there's another way. Let me just see if I can remember this, because it is different in this program. The cutouts. This is your magic cutout, and usually it's on keep, and Instead, we want to hit remove, and what it'll do is it's got a tolerance, and that's how much it's going to take. So 32 is the start, and that's the same as in Photoshop. And it basically is only going to take the sections that are very similar to it. If you bump up the tolerance, it's going to take larger areas of that same color or value. If you lower it, it's going to take smaller sections. So say if I really lowered this, it might not take as much. Typically this is nice to have for like really detailed precision work. So we've also got the lasso. Say you wanted to cut out a lasso, but of course I don't. And when you're done and you're happy with it, you're going to save, and I'm going to save it as black and white, color, pop, stop sign, because you're going to do 3 of these. JPEG, of course, and high would be my recommendation to make sure that you get a really good resolution. Okay, so it'll download, and that's where you're going to upload these 3 from your downloads file, or go save them in your pictures and then upload them to your Google Classroom when you are done. So if you are in class with me, we'll be showing you how to do this same technique through Photoshop. Some of the tools are the same, but some of them are slightly different. So enjoy, have fun, and I can't wait to see what you guys do.